Okay, I'm gonna start streaming and see how it goes. I think I was a minute late according to my clock. But let's see here. I can see myself. Can I hear myself? Awesome. I've had audio issues the last couple of times. I guess I should mute myself so that I don't reverberate. Okay, I've hardly done anything to get started. I was getting into a new video game actually before this, so it was called Power Chord, which is like a roguelike deck builder with like around music. Let's go, says Pillbilly. Welcome in. How's it going? Gabe the Elven King. Hello, welcome in, Gabe the Elven King. First time chat. E-Room, welcome in. How's it going? I've hardly done anything. I haven't even put on my cheating gloves. If anybody is curious about what my cheating gloves are, it's this stuff. So, sort quick. There you go. E-Room says, hi now. Hi, E-Room. How's it going? How's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody... E-Room. Thanks for the bang. How do you do? Oh yeah, that's right, because you had come in, and then you said hi first, and then you said the bang. When usually I expect the bang first, I guess. Guys, when you hang out with the E-Room, make sure that you expect the bang first. uh, the bang didn't work at first. It didn't? Oh, that's weird. Okay. I mean, it worked now. There you go. Anyway, welcome in everybody. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody had a nice Mother's Day. Um, if you live in a place that celebrates it, most of the United States celebrates it, I think. I don't know about other countries. Gabe the Elven King says, just been watching you now, just see me get ready for the new movie coming out. Oh, watching now, you see me. Oh, now you see me to get ready for the new movie. Okay, got it. Yeah, yeah. So I have a confession. I have not seen any of the Now You See Me movies. I even have one of them, and I haven't seen it. But that's cool. I have seen a ton of YouTube content about the Now You See Me movies, which, by the way, I do have to confess, if anybody has seen that, there's the first movie is called Now You See Me, and then they came out with a sequel, and the stupidest sequel title. That was the perfect opportunity for them to say and call it Now You Don't. What did they call it? They called it Now You See Me Too. I don't know. That's Chan the Magic Man. Welcome in. How's it going? How's everybody doing tonight? I am just getting started. I wasn't. Thanks for turning on the trick list and everything. Um, let's see. Gabe the Elven King says the new movie is called Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Oh my God, Gabe the Elven King. They are fixing, quote unquote, fixing their mistake. uh, that's wonderful to hear. I didn't know anything about the movie, so that's um, all right. So Charlie's Beats, welcome in. How's it going? All right. So first things first, for anybody who hasn't seen me before, hi, my name is Nam, also known as Crazy Asian, spelled this way. Whoa, without the light on, that's actually readable on screen. I can actually read that. That's amazing. Maybe I should leave it off. I don't know. Anyway, and I like to do sleight of hand card magic, and I treat my stream kind of like a music stream. People can request. Chan, one of our illustrious mods, has just pinned the streamer song list. There's no songs in there; they're all magic tricks. So, um, anybody's welcome to go ahead and request a trick if you would like, or you can put a random one. Um, but actually, yeah, while we're here, let's do some shout outs. Guys, you're not following our friend E-Room. Uh, please give E-Room a follow. E-Room, also known as the Pope of Indiana. And E-Room does a variety of a bunch of different streams. Does in real life streams, does community game streams, does streams where he opens up a bunch of different things to try and collect sets and like Kinder eggs, for example. So please give our friend E-Room a follow. Guys, you're not giving our friend and mod Chan the Magic Man follow. Chan the Magic Man is also another magician that has a regular magic schedule. So give Chan a follow, and you can catch him tomorrow for Magic Monday. If you catch Chan doing magic, or sorry, streaming other times, he plays retro games. He plays lately Grand Theft Auto 5. So, guys, you're not following our friend Charlie's Beats. Please give Charlie's Beats a follow. Charlie's Beats is I call him a Twitch music famous chatter, but Charlie has streamed before, and maybe Charlie will stream one day again. But if nothing else, Charlie has been very instrumental in getting this particular trick set up. If anybody has not seen the Gibson Eyes emote, changing to Gibson Eyes Sus, that was very instrumental from Charlie's Beats. And then let's see, is there anybody else who streams that we haven't given a shout out to yet? So let me know, let us know. All right, excellent. We do have a request from Gabe the Elven King. So the polarization of light. All right. So let's hop down here. And so here we have the deck. This is the Twitch deck, if anybody hasn't seen it before. And first things first, it doesn't matter which card we select because we're just going to polarize it differently compared to the other ones. So, there it is. Charlie's Beats, guys. Charlie's Beats signed the Ace of Spades in the Twitch deck. By the way, if anybody wants to sign a card, there's still some cards in this deck. I think about a third of the deck is open. But anyway, so first things first, before I polarize anything, if we go ahead and I place the face-up card amongst the face-down cards and we spread, we'll be able to see it because there's no polarization at play. Even if I place it into the deck and we spread this way, we will be able to see it very clearly. But now, actually, do I still have the props? Yes, I do have the props. Okay, cool. So if anybody saw me perform this on my YouTube channel, I have the exact props that I used to polarize in my YouTube video, which has been a long time ago. I think it was multiple years ago. So, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this card through this vertical polarizer. So this will now just be vertically polarized. What does that mean? So if anybody's familiar with polarized light, you will be able to see it when it goes through and it's oriented in a vertical way. But you won't be able to see it when we spread horizontally because it's vertically polarized. And so, hello, welcome in, Durkee Blaine. How's it going? Chilling at work. Wanted to pop in for a quick hello. Have a great stream now. Thanks, Durkee Blaine. Greatly appreciated. Guys, you're not following our friend Durkee Blaine, please give Durkee Blaine a follow. So, for example, we just polarize that vertically. Let's go ahead and spread horizontally. Actually, here, you'll be able to see. It's still there. It's still there. But here, I'm going to go ahead and place it into the deck, and we're going to go ahead and spread horizontally. Now you won't be able to see it because it has been polarized. But it's still there. It's still actually face up. But because it was vertically polarized, you should be able to see it now because it's vertically polarized. So now let's polarize it horizontally like this. And now you'll only be able to see it if it's polarized horizontally. And here, I'm going to go ahead and spread vertically like this. And you won't be able to see it now. Okay. But it is actually still face up. It's just polarized differently. So now if I spread horizontally, it'll be very clear where it is because there it is. And that, my friends, is the polarization of light. So simple card principle that I came up with is really dressed up long performance for, but it was kind of like an idea that I had a long time ago where I was like, I was thinking if I could illustrate scientific concepts with like magic, that would be super cool. I thought. All right, cool. So anyway, thank you kindly for the claps. Charlie's Beats, Chan the Magic Man, E Room. Thanks for shouting out our friend Durkee Blaine. Guys, you're not following our friend Durkee Blaine. Durkee Blaine is a fellow magician. Durkee Blaine does stream a variety of video games though, so although I have seen Durkee Blaine perform magic on stream and on his YouTube channel, but not full dedicated streams. But but let us know, Durkee Blaine, if you're gonna do you're gonna do full dedicated magic streams. You let us know. We'll be the first ones to get super excited. Let's see. Chan says what during that trick. Have you not seen me do that one, Chan? I've only done it on stream like 2 or 3 times, then that's it. And then on my YouTube channel. But there's only one video on my YouTube channel before it, so I have a lot of videos. Let's see. Chan has done a random request. Oh no, you hadn't seen it? Okay, cool. Awesome. Let's see. We have a random request from Chan. Mark Rides, welcome in. How's it going? So good news, I got a temporary promotion, and if I can prove I can do it, it will be permanent. Yo, Mark Rides, that's great news. Assuming you want it. It sounds like the way that you phrased it definitely sounds like it's a good thing. So congratulations on the temporary promotion, and hopefully you can prove that it will be permanent. And assuming you want it. I do hear sometimes there's stories where like there's companies like that push their employees around and they tell them, oh, you've got to do this, and it's like either outside of their comfort zone or outside of like their desire to do anything. But yes, it comes with a pay rate. Yes, pay raise. Yes. Nice. Okay, next up we have a request from Chan the Magic Man. Thanks for the request, Chan. All right, so here we have the ace, 2, and 3 of spades, and here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just leave these off to the side. We'll leave the 3 right here. We'll leave the 2 over here. And we'll take the ace and place it here. Now, this deck is not just a deck, but it is an elevator. So look, if I go ahead and I press the up elevator button, that will make the ace travel from the bottom all the way up to the top. I don't know if you can tell, but look. Now if I place the 2 on the top and I press the down elevator button, that will make it go from the top all the way down to the bottom. And now if we take a look, there it is. And now finally, if let me just quickly show you, we have the 3 right here. Okay. But if I go ahead and I place it over here, there's actually this secret toggle where if I place my finger on it and I press up like this, I don't know if anybody's seen this before. This is like a transporter room transporter control from Star Trek Next Gen. So I don't know if you guys saw it, but there's actually no 3 over here anymore, because if I show you, there we go. Thank you, E-Room. Thank you kindly for that transporter. Because if I show you, that's not, I mean, that's a different 3. That's so fortuitous that was that. But look, the 3 of spades, the one that we were looking for, is actually over here now. And that, my friends, is 3 travelers. Let's see here. Mark Rides, thanks for the bang. Let's see. Turkey Blaine says, hello to you, good Sarah Chan. And then also, Mark Wright says it comes with pay raise. Awesome. And Mark Wright says, actually, the elevator is broken. You're going to need to shoot the grate above and climb those elevator cables. Yo, That's right. I should uh I should come up with a theme for like if somebody wants the elevator to be broken, we should probably have a thing for that. Thanks for the bang, Mark Rides. Let's see. Thanks for the claps. E-Room, Chan the Magic Man. Thanks for clearing that, Chan. Um, all right. So today is Mother's Day. Um, our neighbors are expecting their second kid. Like I don't want to say any day now, but like in the next like month and a half or so. But it will be their second kid. But today I went over and we were hanging out playing in the driveways, and I decided to do the four card trick for mom, and I basically had the surprise ending at the end instead of having it be a card that changes color. The back already said "Happy Mother's Day, 2025" from my family to their family. And so, and they hadn't seen me do that many magic tricks. I think they've seen me do like three or four in person. And then if they looked at my YouTube channel, there might have been like a few more, but they probably don't regularly watch magic. But she was impressed, and I'm like, all right, awesome, cool. Hopefully she'll remember that. What else? About a week ago, I went to the grocery store like late at night, and then it was a slow night, and I decided to try and show a magic trick to the cashier on the way out because there was nobody behind me. Um, that went well. I think she had a puzzled look, and it's like, "Why are you showing me a magic trick?" And I was like, "I'm not complaining because it's kind of dead in here, but like, let's see. Oh, the day before I went to the convention, so I did recap my Monty convention attendance. I went to a festival that's held near here called Imagine RIT. Now, for anybody who's not from the greater Rochester area, RIT stands for the Rochester Institute of Technology, and they host a festival every year called Imagine RIT. And so we went. It's a family event, but my wife, because she's like the local librarian, is like a local celebrity. So like a bunch of people were like, "Oh, hey, I know you," and I guess they didn't know that I did magic, so I was able to show some magic to this random family at this festival. Um, and because I was in the way and causing a blockage of like people flowing, they asked me, "Okay, could you go do this over there instead of wherever I was standing?" So that was interesting. Let's see. Mark Rides has requested a trick. All right, excellent. Thanks for the request, Mark Rides. Let's go ahead and get ready for that. Oh, and there was kind of a magic event. I'll talk about it after this trick, though. So I was actually doing research on this particular trick specifically. Okay, but thanks for the request, Mark Rides. Okay, so here we have three cards. And the name of the game, so this trick is called Color Monty, but it's basically a variation of three card Monty. And so you're trying to keep your eyes on the card that's different so that you can try and win. So usually you bet money in between each round. But here, I'll show you. This is a blue diamond. Gibson Lens, welcome in. How's it going, Bert? This is also a blue diamond. And then here's the money card right here. This is the red diamond. So you're going to try and find the red diamond. Now, first things first, we would ask, oh, hey, where's the red diamond? If you just saw me move it from the top to the bottom, you would probably guess the bottom. And to that, I would say, no, 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 that's a blue diamond. So wait, if you put a blue diamond on the bottom, maybe you never moved it from the top and it's actually still on the top. Well, to that I would say, no, 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 that's actually also a blue diamond. However, if you were now to guess, wait, if there's a blue diamond on the bottom and a blue diamond on the top, then clearly the red diamond's got to be in the middle. And to that I would say, no, 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 no. There's definitely also a blue diamond here in the middle. And now they would accuse me of cheating. They'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa. You have 3 blue diamonds and no red diamonds? No, no, no. No, here, the red diamond's here on the bottom. See? Red diamond's right there. So wait, if there's a red diamond on the bottom, that means that, like, for example, the top card has got to be a blue diamond. No, no, no. The top card has got to be... No, the top card's a red diamond. And wait, wait, wait. So wait, if the bottom card's a red diamond, top card's a red diamond, but there was supposed to be... Where's all the blue... There has to be a blue diamond here in the middle, right? No, 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 no. That's also a red diamond. Now, some people at this point are guessing, like, hey, hey, you must be cheating. You must be using more than 3 cards. And to that I would say, no, 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 that's not right. 1, 2, 3. Mark Wright says, I just won. I said red on the top. Mark Rides, you win my share of the internet for today. Full disclosure, I don't own any shares of the internet. I don't even know if you can own shares of the internet. Okay, so now at this point, we would just say, all right, there's no possible way that they could guess. And you know what? I would say, you know what? Here, let me give you a hint. You just tell me what this third card is, and we'll just forget the whole thing ever happened. And so here is a blue card, blue diamond. Here is a red diamond. What is this? And if anybody wants to guess, feel free to guess. Otherwise, now's a good time to hydrate. Guys, if you've been sitting around for a while and you've not hydrated, please feel free to hydrate. Thanks for getting the hydrate, Chan. Also, oh, Chan, I remember that last stream that you had asked a question. Did I get a new camera? But I forgot, I believe I forgot to answer it on stream. So, A, I'm sorry, but B, let me answer it now after after we flip this over. So, if you guys guessed a blue diamond, you'd be incorrect. If you guys guessed a red diamond, you'd be incorrect. The correct answer is green dollar signs. There you go. And that, my friends, is Color Monty. You bet $100, says Chan. So the one thing about I don't like doing the patter with actual dollar amounts, and I'm like, and I have to keep track of it and stuff. But good guess, Chan. Good guess. The last card is a black diamond. It might also say that you owe me unspecified amount of money or you lost. Mark Rides, yes, Mark Rides and Chan, you guys know exactly where this is going. Thanks for clearing that. So yeah, long story short, I did not technically get new cameras, but I rotated cameras, and I finally, for the first time ever, adjusted the color saturation and like other settings of the cameras. So they may look new, but they're the exact same cameras I've been using. And so, yeah, Chan says, I got the dollar part right. Yep, that's right. And so, yes, but I did alter the angle. So technically, this is a slightly different angle than it was before. So before we were like straight on and this wall was directly flat behind me. Now we're angled this way so that it's like, it's curved. Like if I just tilted this a little bit more, you can see more of this wall. And then down here on the magic mat, I did tilt this. So I raised this up by about, I don't know, 2 inches, maybe 2.5 inches. So this camera is about 2 to 2.5 inches higher than it used to be, looking down more. So you're not seeing as much of my fat stomach. Mark Rides asks, have you thought about doing a purple diamond? Blue and red make purple. You know, long story short, I would totally do any version of this in which I can get like nice. So these are printed on nice bicycle cards, and this is how the trick comes. It comes with By the way, if anybody would like to purchase this trick, FYI, hashtag not sponsored, but the cards come printed like this. If you search for color Monty and you go buy it, you will get a blue diamond, a red diamond, $1, and then the other card that you get, which is what has been eluded by everybody else, is the bicycle card that says you owe $100. And so your choice of pick of whichever one. I forget. Some copies might only have this, or some copies might only have this. I thought that the version that I got has all four, but yeah, if I had a purple diamond, I would totally use it. I'm not gonna make a copy because it's not. It's gonna be very homemade, I guess. Let's see. Mark Wright says, "I'm gonna drive, but I'll be lurking." All right, thanks, Mark Wright, for the lurk, and drive safe. But yeah, I would totally do different variations. The one thing that I don't really do much is like gambling demonstrations, and like I feel like the Monty like plot is like basically a gambling demonstration. So if we can do a different version of that, I think I'd feel a lot better about doing it. All right, so let's see. On Monday of this past week, I guess last week, I normally would hang out on Twitch and mod a stream, but so normally I would mod Gibson Lens's stream. So Gibson Lens, sorry I couldn't make it, but I was actually hanging out with magicians, and we were seeing a magician off because she had recently joined our club chapter, and she was graduating college. And if you guys remember when I was talking about my Monty convention, it was Tiana, the college girl, that was graduating, and then she's moving away. So there was 7 magicians that came out to hang out, and we went to a restaurant in Greater Rochester called the New York Beer Project. So if anybody is a fan of beer, they have a bunch of their own beers, but then they also have um, a bunch of other beers on tap from local and from national, as much as you would expect a bar would have. I forget how many they have. It's like 30 or 40 beers on tap. But anyway, that's a lot of beers. But they're also a full restaurant as well. But we were hanging out in the back bar area. And so at first it was like oh, we're sad to see you leave. And we exchanged like, goodbye cards and things like that. And then the rest of the evening after everybody got settled was like an entire workshop of just like teaching magic to all the magicians, and then some of the magicians would go to the tables behind us to perform magic there. The guy who was doing his gig finished and joined us. So there's a magician doing a magic gig there. He's part of the crew. And then afterwards, we had people coming over to our table, and we would show them various pieces of magic. So um, it was. Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah. Chan says, "Oh yeah, I'm used to seeing you in his chat." Oh yeah, Chan, that's right. So I did watch the VOD, and Chan rated Gibson Lens on Monday, and I wasn't there because I was out doing magician-y things with magicians. But yes, one of the few times that I wasn't there. Sorry, I missed your raid, Chan, but I did later see that it was yeah, cool. Let's see. Mark Ride says, you know what would be funny if you see a street hustler and they have blue and red diamonds, hide the dollar card in your sleeve, grab one of the 3 losing cards, and snap changes that it to the dollar card and be like, "Do I win? How much do I get?" I didn't come out of park yet. Oh, okay. Yeah. Gibson Lens says, "I saved the reviews for tomorrow." Yo, awesome. Thanks for saving. I mean, for future reference, if you need to review movies and I'm not around, you're welcome to do so. Obviously it's your stream. You do what you like. I guess it might be a hassle to do the polls yourself, but um, I did hear that you had watched 3, and I don't necessarily want to say that I cheated. You may want to scramble the movies, but I remember hearing at the end of the stream that you went or something, and then so I tried to forget it, but and the chance says no worries. All right, cool. So anyway, thank you for saving their movie reviews. I will be. If I remember, I think I was definitely interested in your opinion on one of them. I forget which one now, but as I said, tried to forget. So, what was I doing? Oh yes, I'm gonna try and pull up a picture of the magician hanging out on Monday really quick. But it was a really fun time hanging out with the magicians. I must have not taken that many pictures because, yeah, okay, there we go. All right, maybe that's not super. Oh, that's actually surprisingly better than I thought. Yep. So there we were, seven magicians, and we were like tag teaming, like people who would come over to the table and be like, "All right." So I would finish, I would do a trick, and then I'd be like, "All right, who's up next?" Step away. One of the other magicians would step in. So it's super fun, super cool. But yeah, it was funny because the place closed at 11 p.m. my time, and so I was like, "All right, cool, go back home." I was thinking, I'll make it back to Gibson Lens's stream with like 15 minutes left, and I made it with 15 minutes left, and then I found out that Gibson Lens actually rated out early because it was New Baroque's birthday. So fun times. So yeah, the magic stuff I think is going to slow down for the summer a little bit because we don't really have our monthly meetings in the summer. So there's like one picnic for, and then we'll stop for like 2 or 3 months, and then we'll pick back up later. So there might not be that much going on after May for a little bit. All right, cool. So all right. Did I quote unquote learned a new trick, but it was very similar to the last trick, and I put all of it away, so I wasn't quite ready to do. All right, let's see here. Um, I did teach myself a bunch of tricks that I purchased, not just from this past uh, convention, but from the previous convention. But I'm like not actually prepared to do like any of them, which is unfortunate. Also, I'm not sure what the legality, not legality, obviously it's not illegal, but like, so there's this one vendor, and I think you guys might have heard me mention him before. Um, so his name is Paul Richards, and basically at every convention that I go to that he's basically working it really hard. But if you actually go to his website, it says he's not selling any of his tricks on his website. So you actually have to go visit him at a convention to purchase any of his tricks. And I have a bunch of his stuff, and they're all good things. And I'm like, oh man, he's a working like magician. Like he sells stuff, and I'm like, I don't know how cool it is to like show his stuff like on stream. Like obviously I'm not going to give away the secrets. So that part's perfectly fine, but I'm like, man, if he's not even like providing, and I tried to search for other people with like YouTube performances of stuff, and like none of them are out there. So it's like some of this magic is like the most secret magic in like a modern day society, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's not cool to show it. So like the one trick of his that I do is it's called Chop Shop or Imagine. It's also known as Chop the Monty. And that's one of the ones that I like to close with. And I'm like, okay, like is that good enough? Should I just not push my luck yet with it? So one day I'm sure I can show a bunch of these things. Also, I'll be ready to perform them, but I'm not sure if I want to show them like on the regular. Um, so anyway, yeah, I've been doing a lot of cleaning of cards. I have a ton of cards, a ton of cards, lots and lots of cards. So, all right, let's see here. I've not done a boss trick in a while, and I think there might have been a boss trick or two from many streams ago. So let's see what is on the docket. By the way, welcome to Magic Stream 140 today. So that is Magic Stream 140. What's the date? 11? 11. Okay. And let's see here. Oh, I messed this one up last time. Oh, okay. This one and then okay. Oh, there's this one that I messed up a long time ago. It was like 3 or 4 streams ago, almost a month ago. So let's do that. And actually, this is probably a good time to mention, I'm not sure if this stream or next stream might probably be the last ones that I have with the long hair. I intend on getting a haircut in the next couple of weeks. And you know what that means? I'm not going to have long hair anymore for a year. So, I mean, I guess it'll probably grow back a little bit faster than that, but okay. So, all right. I think I know what I'm going to do next, trick-wise. Oh no, 143 weeks ago it was double 69 stream and I missed it? Oh. Oh, I didn't even know it was double 69 stream. I guess I wasn't keeping track, but I mean, I'll be aware of 169, so we'll put that out there right now. Let's see here. Yeah, oh yeah, that would make sense. Hair razor. Okay, all right. Okay. All right, just to make sure that I remember. Okay, cool. All right. Let's begin. All right. Oh yeah, so this is a boss trick. So, I remember messing this up only like near the end, and not that I necessarily showed like any secrets, but I was like, ah, I should do that again. So, anyway, also appropriate because this might be the one of the last streams where I have the hair raised. So I'll have like flat hair. I'll have short hair for a year after that. All right. So because it's Mother's Day, let's go ahead and use the hearts. And so what I'm going to Marshall Silver, welcome in. How's it going? Thanks for the ding. Hopefully you're doing well. How's everything going, Marshall Silver? Marshall Silver's got Power Rangers Zeo. Hold on, who's those are yours. Oh man, that's awesome. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to use our jokers. The jokers are going to help us with this trick here. And all right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and place the ace on the bottom, and all I have to do is snap once. And that will bring the ace from the bottom up to the top. And we can do that again with the 2, but the difference is we're going to have to snap twice. And so that will bring the 2 up to the top. And then same thing with the 3, but we will have to go ahead and snap 1, 2, 3 times. And I don't know if you know, but that is when we bring the 3 up to the top. Now some people are like, that trick takes a long time. If I have to snap for each one the number of times it is, can't you do it a little faster? And I would say, yeah, all right, fine. Here we go. We'll put everything on the 3, and the 3 jumps back up to the top. Put the jokers on the 2, and that will make the 2 jump back up to the top. Put the jokers on the ace, and that will make the ace jump back up to the top. And so we have our 2 jokers. Some people believe that the jokers are the thing that makes this trick magical. But actually, what should make this trick magical is uh, the ace 2 and the 3, and that's actually the thing. So look, if I go ahead and I place the ace 2 and the 3 out like this, at this point we don't need these jokers anymore. But if you were here, you can tell me when to stop, and we would just basically cut wherever you said stop. Now, if we just give it a second and I tell you that, so just to talk for real for a second. So prior to 2020, I never got like a haircut so infrequently. Like I used to get my haircut usually at least once every 2 months. And because of the pandemic, and I'm like, I don't really need to get my haircut during the pandemic. And then also, I didn't really like paying for haircuts that often. And so now I let my hair grow basically throughout the entire year, and I only get it cut once a year. It saves a lot of money. I don't know how much you guys pay for a haircut now, but like when I started getting haircuts, like, when I moved out of the house for the first time, like a regular, like super cut or like a cut at a chain haircut place was like $8. And then I saw it increase and increase to like $13, $15, like 17, $18. Now it's like $20. And I'm like, man, I'm glad I don't get it cut like every other month or anything now. But so now I'm like, I can pay for a nice haircut once a year because I'm like, all right, it's fine. Like, Gibson Len says, I pay $0. Bert, do you just like do your own? Do you just trim your own hair? Because that's a good way to just pay $0. And it's very simple. You know exactly what's going to look like and everything. Yes, all right, that's awesome. All right. I know that not everybody can do that, but if you could do that, that saves a lot of money. Like you just have to invest in a nice pair of clippers, basically, right? So anyway, so the 1, 2, and the 3 of hearts, we can say that they represent the family members, during Mother's Day or whatever. If they were the magical ones, and so here's where we cut. All right, so here we cut on a heart. We just cut on a heart. We cut on the Queen of Hearts. Now, if the jokers were magical, these would still remain the ace 2 and the 3 of hearts. But look, if the queen is the one that's going to instigate the magic on the ace 2 and the 3, they will become the other queens. There's the queen of clubs, the queen of diamonds, and the queen of spades. And that, my friends, is hair raiser. And I will say, I'll call that a successful boss trick that time. So, beat the boss. Woo! All right. E-Room says, "Wow, wow, wow." I have to I have to read your emotes like as they bounce. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you kindly for the claps, E-Room. Yep, and so that was a boss trick from Lingering from weeks ago. So now I can knock that out. Let's see here. Thank you kindly for the claps, Gibson Lens. All right. So let me see here. I have another boss trick to potentially attempt. And let me see if we can do it. Oh, so I don't know if anybody stays in the nerdy geeky card game world, but there's been a lot of advertisements directly to me about Magic the Gathering and Final Fantasy. So I don't know if anybody is aware or knows, but upcoming in the next, I don't know, is it weeks away? That the very first Universes Beyond Magic the Gathering expansion for Final Fantasy is coming out soon. Gibson Lens is aware. All right, yes, I had a feeling that Bert would be aware. Um, and I was like, man, is that going to be more expensive? And I'm like, I love them. I'm probably going to get like a bunch of cards anyway. But I'm like, should I not get? I don't know. So that is where I'm at. But I'm like, I know I can do magic. I know I can do sleight of hand magic with Magic the Gathering cards. And I'm like, oh, this might be like my chance to do Final Fantasy, card tricks because so if anybody's ever played the Final Fantasy card game, oh, Talamir, welcome in. I have an issue with that trick. Which one? The hair razor? Hello, by the way. Hello. Is definitely more expensive, says Gibson. Oh, okay. Talamir, first, welcome in. How's it going? First time chat. And also, are you a magician? Is my next question. And then it's going well. Awesome. And then next, I'm not a magician. Okay. And then what is your problem with the last trick, I guess, is my next question. Um, it's definitely more. Yeah. So anyway, so I'm like, okay, I could totally do magic with Magic the Gathering cards. And I was like, I should buy some because if anybody's heard of the Final Fantasy card game, um, those cards are amazingly beautiful, but you can't really do sleight of hand magic on them because the faces of them feel like paper, but then the backs of them are this nice matte texture, and they do not lend themselves to being manipulated in any way. So, oh, Talamir says, "Oh, it's the cut, but you know what I'm on about." Talamir, well done, good catch. And yes, that is a very famous move that a lot of people, let's say, beginners could use. I happen to use it because it's convenient and I just like to. But good catch. But yeah, feel free to be suspicious of that. But that's exactly how that is done. So I could do a more convincing one, but usually it would be more convincing if I was doing this in person and then I could, spread the deck. You can just touch one. That'd be way, way easier. But anyway, Talamir, yes, what you saw is exactly what happened. So there you go. Gibson Land says the Final Fantasy set is already the most successful Magic set, and it isn't out yet. Oh, see, that's the part that bothers me because it's like what pre-orders and stuff, and I'm just like, come on, like, jeez. Yeah, okay. Hey, I'll take it. Gotta live up to that name. All right. All right, cool. All right, next up is the impulse card trick. So hopefully I do this well enough. It's not a big issue. All right, so first things first, we've got the four aces, we've got the four kings, and here's what I want to do with the aces. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and just show you. That was the ace of spades, ace of diamonds, ace of clubs, and ace of hearts. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn one of these aces over because, so look, here we go. Now we're going to turn a second ace over. I don't know if you can tell. Let's turn a third ace over. And then let's turn the final ace face down. There we go. But actually, I don't know if you could tell, but if I just wave my hand over, actually, we've removed all the aces from here and actually replaced it with all of the kings. Because look, I don't know if you can tell, but those look a lot like kings to me. King, 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 king. Uh, and then here's what we're going to do. If you were to logically take the thought process of being like, well, wait, if I just swap them, that means all of the aces are over here and all the kings are over there. But if you don't believe me, then maybe all the kings are, all the aces are over here. But regardless, you would expect them to be on top, one on top of each other, right? You would not expect this, that all of them would be intermixed with each other. And not only that, would you expect each of the aces to be paired up? So the ace of diamonds is paired up with the king of diamonds. The ace of spades to be paired up with the king of spades. The ace of hearts to be paired up with the king of hearts. And the ace of clubs would be paired up with the king of clubs. You probably wouldn't expect that. I only see one king top left corner. All right. Well, here's the other thing. Would you expect that perhaps if you saw all of the kings, they were all blue backed, but if we looked at all of the aces, they are red backed? And that, my friends, is the impulse card trick. I missed some chat, so hold on, let me catch up. Let's see. My mom just told me my grandpa passed away a couple of weeks ago from pancreatic cancer. Chan, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope you're okay. I hope you had a great relationship with your grandfather and that, you know, he lived a full life. So, yeah. So, this is not gonna quite match up to the loss of a family member, but I did think about death a lot recently because I was thinking to myself, if anybody has heard of the Venus probe, that was the Russian Venus probe that was crashing down to the Earth. It was supposed to hit somewhere on Earth over the weekend, and I was thinking to myself, what if it was to smash into my house? And I was like, what what would I do? Like, what if it was to smash into me? Like, there's no way that I could even deal. But then it's like, oh no, how would my family do? But it's like you can't predict where it's gonna hit. Right? Like, I mean, but the likelihood that it would hit anybody, because it's only one of it, right? Like the chances of you getting hit by lightning were greater than that. So, but anyway, thoughts that still cross my head. Let's see. So, and Talamir said, "I'm not a magician, but my middle name is." I mean, yeah, I encourage not anybody to dox yourself. No need to, if it's not necessary. We talked about the cut already. Hey, I'll take it. Gotta live up to that name. What name? Talamir, are you a streamer? I just clicked on your account just to take a look. Do you stream? It looks like you stream music. Is that what you do? I only see one king top left corner. Oh, was it just the timing? You eventually saw all four kings. I'll be more specific. My middle name is Magician. Is it really? Yes? Oh, okay. It also says here you're Norwegian. So is it just the Norwegian word for magician? Or is it actually magician like the English? Uh, and the king in the top left corner was you in that scene. Okay. All right. Oh, by the way, that was a beat. We just beat that boss because that was a boss trick. So I messed that one up. Looked like 2 streams ago. I don't think I messed it up that crazy, but I was unhappy with how I handled it. So yeah, two magic streams ago. All right. Cool. You did fine. Thanks, Chan. Greatly appreciate it. Well, the boss tricks I defeated is 69, so it's the opposite of the ideal number. Lurk. All right. Thanks for the lurk, Chan. Have a good night. Take care. Sleep well. Hydrate and stretch. You'll thank yourself later. All right. Cool. Let's see here. What shall we do next? Oh yeah. So I did flesh out my box of organized cards. I have a lot of decks of cards. I have labeled a shoebox. Hold on, let me see if I can reach it without pulling on the cables too much here. All right. We have labeled this box. Oh yeah, you guys can't see anything yet. We've labeled this box unopened premium decks. Ta-da! So all of these are unopened. And that is not even suggesting that the opened ones are remotely near this. Alright, let's... Oh god, this is heavier than I thought. Could not one-hand this one. Ugh. This one currently has no label. Oh yes, that's right. I have a lot of extra stock and things that I have not... Oh, actually, one of these decks... Do I want to... Oh, is one of these open? No, it's not. Some of these are open. Let me see if I want to do any of these, or... Let me see if I remember how to do any of these. I might not remember, so I might not be able to do them. Nope, we're not gonna remember how to do these. Let's go ahead and... Oh, is this one open? Okay. Oh yeah, let's pull out these. I don't know if I showed these. Talamir says, which type of crowd do you prefer to perform for? Talamir, that is a wonderful question because honestly, I don't know. At the moment, I know that I don't want to do anything for kids, but my entire magic career has basically just been on the internet. Because when I first started learning magic, I was like, hey, I want to start showing people magic, once I got ready. And then the pandemic happened, so like all of the restaurants, bars, public places closed, and I'm like, where do I show people magic now? And so I ended up showing magic basically on the internet. And so, wait, oh, there's 3 there. Nope, okay. And so I was like, okay, so I just did what I wanted to do, and I just like put it all on on my YouTube channel. So I have, let me see here. So I have over 300 magic performance videos on my YouTube channel. So if you're interested, feel free to check it out. Combine sleight of hand with tarot streaming, and you've got quite a unique concept. That is interesting because I also have a box of tarot cards over there. If you want to see me do some magic with tarot cards, we have channel point redeems here. So, but if you're interested in seeing my tarot cards, I can just pull some out right now. So here we go. I just redeemed tarot cards for you. But I was vaguely interested in tarot, like a few years after I started doing sleight of hand. Let's see. And so I've thought about like doing some interesting, I don't know, effects basically. So yeah, all my tarot decks I believe are in this box. So here we've got steampunk. Here we've got shiny tarot. Here we've got astrological oracle cards, which isn't a full tarot deck. Here we have the Arcus Arcanum tarot deck. This is the Enchanted Map. It looks like Charlie's Beats has requested the Restless Lady. Talimir has said, I've got my own deck as well, and that deck is the reason for my middle name. Oh, there's one card that always kept popping up no matter how much I shuffled. Oh, was it the Magician? Because that would make sense now. Yeah, okay, yeah, that totally makes sense. All right, so Charlie's Beats has requested the Restless Lady, and I guess I'm using tarot cards because I've redeemed it. So hopefully you're okay with that, Charlie. All right, so first of all, let's choose a few cards to do the trick for. Actually, let me hop up here while I select, because these are not gonna necessarily look that. I'm also trying to find the images that would work out well. Should I, because it's the Restless Lady, should I like theme it as like suitors? We could do that, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna see how this goes. I don't know if this is the best. Okay. Hold on. I think I need to change this guy's image because he doesn't fit in with the look. Sorry, and I'll show you guys the rest of the deck in a second. Oh my god, some of these people do not look good. Okay, alright. Okay, here we go. I say we go with these 4 dudes and this girl. Alright, okay, cool. Alright, okay, so first things first, if anybody has not seen me use this deck before, this is my Steampunk Tarot deck. And this is what the backs look like. The backs look like this. The faces look like this. All the images are completely unique, so I don't think it would be doing it justice, like just like fanning them. But so at the bottom of each card, so if anybody's not familiar, a deck of tarot cards is 21 or 22 major arcana, which is like the cards like Death, the Magician, the Hierophant, things like that, the Devil. And then there's the minor arcana, which is kind of like the cards that are mostly like a regular deck of cards. The suits might be different. So like here, this is the 8 of Wands, the 5 of Wands, the 4 of Pentacles, and so on. But the extra, so there's a King, Queen, and instead of Jack, it's a Knight. And then there's an additional face card. There's a page. So, for example, a page of pentacles, a page of swords, and so on. Let me see if I can find an example of one really quick. I was trying to read this upside down. But yeah, the images don't really have anything. So here's the page of pentacles. Right there. Okay. So how have I structured cards for the Restless Lady? Is okay. So here we have, and don't worry about the names of the cards, but here's a male suitor, or at least someone who could look for a wife. Here's another male suitor, another male suitor with a top hat on, another male suitor, also with a top hat on but behind a chair, And then here's our restless lady. So the Knight of Cups is going to represent our restless lady. So I chose these because the guys are all kind of like dark colored backdrops, and then this is like a brightly colored one. So, and the restless lady, she's going to be trying to find love with the suitors. So I called them suitors, but perhaps they initially tried to suit her. That's so weird. But instead, they were all turned off. But now she's desperate because she's like, "Oh no, I've turned them all away. I wanna get a second chance." All right. Talamir says, "That's a beautiful deck. 22. Oh, 0 through 21. Oh, okay. All right. Thanks for the clarification, Talamir." So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and leave the restless lady over here, and but all we have to do is if we give her a chance to come after this suitor, she will find herself back amongst all of them. And so there she is. She is back amongst all of them. I don't know if you can tell, but okay. However, the suitors are going to try and distance themselves away from her once again, like this. And but now there's a group of a few suitors, and all they have to do is give her a chance to get back into their presence. I don't know if you can tell, but she has found a way back into their presence because there she is. And now we do have two suitors, but once again, if we just give her an avenue to get back here, she'll find a way to make herself visible. And then now we just have one suitor left, but she has found a way to get back on top. Interesting, huh? So here's the interesting thing. If you try and visit any and all of those suitors, you're actually going to find that she is everywhere because look, there she is. There she is again. There she is again. There she is again. And there she is again. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? But let's go ahead and place her off to the side over here. And these four suitors have a discussion, and they say, "Hey, she's not so obnoxious, right? Perhaps she could marry one of us." And at the end of this story, this is where they all decide, okay, well, who loves her the most? And they have a civil discussion. There aren't any gun duels. There isn't any fighting. And they just decide, eventually one of them is happy. I'm not sure which one. Because if we take a look at the restless lady, she has found some love in her life. And there they are, presumably getting married. Which guy does this look like the most? Maybe he looks like this guy, but with his mustache shaved. Maybe this guy. I don't know. It's there you go. And that, my friends, is the Restless Lady, but with tarot cards. Oh, that's good, says Talamir. Thank you, Talamir. Yeah, so if anybody is into sleight of hand magic and hasn't handled tarot cards before, tarot cards are differently sized than regular cards, regular poker sized cards. So sometimes extra challenging. These ones were just a little bit taller than the usual, but not too bad. Some of the other ones that I have in my box over here, they are much larger, and so those are a lot more unruly to handle for sleights. Thank you kindly for the claps. E-room. How does the lovers look? Oh, that's a great question. Let me find it first. Yeah, when I did let's see. Yeah, when I did magic with this last time, I shuffled everything together, and it does not. I don't separate them out or anything after the. Okay, where are the lovers? Oh, okay. So the lovers looks like this. Talamir. Come on, focus. Focus! Alright, hold on. Let me. There we go. That's what the lovers looks like. Yeah, that actually this would be a good card also to end that trick with as well. I could also change it instead of Restless Lady. It could be like the Restless Suitor and then have 4 ladies. That could work out too. Actually, are there enough ladies in here? I'm not sure. I mean, I guess there's queens, but yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, okay. Yep. There we go. Yeah, or the Restless Fool turning into a magician. Yeah, we could totally change up our stories about that as well. I think when I used to do the Restless Lady trick, I would basically, when somebody would request it, I would basically retheme it differently every time. I probably told 5 or 6 different versions of the Restless Lady as like people who hang out on Twitch. So mostly friends of the community who would come and hang out with us and support us and things. So certainly. And then one of the other tarot decks that I really like that I've only pulled out like once, but actually maybe more relevant now because Gibson Lens watches movie reviews, is the Movie Tarot. Movie Tarot. And so all of these images are images of um, famous characters, actors as characters from specific movies. So here it is, Knight of Coins, aka Willy Wonka, and that's Gene Wilder. The Star, King of Wands. Alstro Art, welcome in. How's it going? Hello. Here's David Bowie. Ace of Cups. Yeah. The Fool, the Hermit, Queen of Wands, the Tower. Yeah. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, I need to get this. So, did you do any Mother's Day tricks? Alstro Art. You know what? I have not yet. Would you like me to do a Mother's Day magic trick, Alstro Art? That deck is awesome. Oh yeah, for sure. I totally love it. Yeah, if you want to see more of that or you want me to see me a trick doing that, remind me again after I do this next one. All right, let's see here. Uh, you know what? This one would be perfect. Okay. All right, so first things first, I've got a deck. And this deck is not your typical deck. If I was to show you this, this is a deck that doesn't have numbers and suits. This has like letters on it. And so most of the letters are represented so there's 26 letters in the English alphabet. There's 50, so there's actually 54 cards in here. 52 are letters, and then the jokers are like yes and no. But anyway, so let's do a trick here with these. First things first, we're going to need a card selected. So let's just go to a random place in the middle of the, like let's say here. And then let me spread these out. And okay, why don't we have one of these cards selected? So Alstro Art, if you would like to, actually Alstro Art, are you on desktop? If you can click directly on the screen, we should get a heat map. Is that you, Alstro? What's up, Jay Manito? Welcome in, Jay Manito. How's it going? All right, cool, excellent. So Alstro Art has selected this card. This will be our selection. And Jay Manito, welcome in. Hopefully you're doing well. Good to see you. Guys, I know Jay Manito in real life. Haven't hung out with Jay Manito for a while now, but Hopefully everything's going good. And are you sticking in the world of Magic, J Manito, as well? I'd be curious to know if you've kept up. All right, so I'm gonna slide this out. So that is the selection. And all right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna cut the deck into about 4 equal parts. They don't have to be exactly equal. Just have to be roughly a quarter of the deck. And we're gonna do something unfathomable. Let's see. J Mento says, I got Aussie Wynn's new book when it came out and need to finish reading. Okay, awesome. Full disclosure, I don't really read Magic books like front to back. They're just kind of like a, oh, I need something new, open it, flip to a new page kind of thing. So the fact that you haven't finished it, that is okay. Like, all right, let's see here. Let me grab this heat map so it's not in the way. Delicious. Lamau, says J Manito. All right, cool. So first things first, I'm going to turn over these 2 packets. And what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle face up into face down cards. Because, look, yeah, actually you can see one of the jokers there. Yes. Okay. And then we're going to do it again. And again. So now we have a whole jumble of cards. So look, there's some cards that are face down, some cards that are face up. And now you're going to try, I'm going to try and find your card. Wait. Crap. Your card is right there. Look, I found it. Is that weird? That's weird, right? All right. So guys, when I mess up a trick, there's actually somebody here to help me. It's not a person, but it is the true magical talent of the stream. And if anybody's got the emotes, feel free to spam them now. But when I mess up a trick, we have to introduce our friend, the Deck Sock. You're probably wondering why he's called the Deck Sock, and it's because a deck of playing cards perfectly fits inside of him. Take a bow, Deck Sock. Take a bow. All right. Okay, Deck Sock, please tell me how we're going to fix this Mother's Day trick for everybody. Okay, first I must share an intimate memory of my mother. Okay, so, all right, so I sometimes make this joke on stream, and it's because when my mom met my biological dad, they loved each other so much that they got married, and then 10 months after they met, and then 5 months later, I was born. And the joke is, fastest gestation time ever. But as for Mother's Day, I do have to confess that even though my parents didn't end up sticking together, my mom ended up single parenting both me and my brother for a long time. And, looking back at everything, I know that she has made a lot of sacrifices for us. And I know that she loves us. And that's kind of like one of the biggest things that I have to give my mom props for, because, she had a really tough, life after becoming a single parent and having to raise 2 kids on her own. So I did have to become like man of the house, and I did do some things. I do regret maybe not having a better behavior at like my formidable teen years and stuff, but I'd like to think at the end of the day I did okay. But anyway, all right. So now the deck sock says, in order to make this impressive, is I have to try and get the audience to figure out what letter that is. Is that what I heard right? Is that right? Okay. So how do I do that? Okay, so go ahead and... So the deck sock's telling me to spread the deck. Okay, here we go. Spreading the deck. We do have some cards face up. So let's just start pulling them out, I guess. So here we have a H. We have ha. Ha! Okay, there we go. I don't know if anybody knows, but Gibson Lens recently added the ha emote for Mostly for use with Guardia Millennial Fair. Then we have a P. Hap. Happy. Oh, wait, and there's nothing else face up over here? Nope. Okay, but how about over here? Happy. Happy Mountain, guys. Happy MT Mountain. I guess there's more. E. Okay, we're not gonna fit here. Hold on. There's a bunch more cards, so. Happy. Happy M the. Happy M. Happy M Therm. Or happy. Maybe it's Happy Therm. Happy. Alright, and then we have. Whoops. Mothers. Sorry. I probably gave away too much. Alright, guys, can you guess what letter the deck sock has on top of it? Any guesses? Alstro Art says O. Alright, let's see if Alstro Art is correct. And that Alstro Art, you are indeed correct. Happy Mother's Day. And we did successfully get somebody in chat, Alstro Art, to guess the letter. Happy Thermos Day, says Dalamir. Actually, thermos is an anagram for mothers, right? Yeah, it is. All the letters are used. It could be Happy Thermos Day as well if we just swap some of those. All right. Can somebody quickly Google for me? Is there a Thermos Day? Because I'll have to have this ready for Thermos Day too. uh, Thank you kindly for the claps. Elstowar, thank you kindly for the jumbo clap. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you kindly for the emotes and the claps. E-Room, Gibson Lens, happy. E-Room says, happy Smother Day. You guys. Wait, February 26th is Thermos Day, apparently? No. No. Hold on, I gotta catch it. No way. Happy Thermos Day. February 26th. Thermos Day, February 26th. Holy crap, guys. I have to have this ready for February 26th. All right. I'm not going to look up Happiest Mother Day. As much as I would. Deep down inside, I don't really want that to be a thing, but it would be hilarious if it was. But I don't know how you would celebrate it, so maybe no Smother Day. All right. Thank you kindly for that request, Alstro Art. Yeah, actually, yes, it's Mother's Day, and that was the first Mother's Day trick of the day. So there we go, quote unquote, in the second half of the stream. So anyway, thank you to all of the mothers out there. Without you guys, nobody would exist. Right? Like no, but seriously though, thank you to all of the mothers out there because thank you for taking care of us. The Lord knows we need taking care of. Astro Art says, I would will myself into existence. That's a way. I mean, who's to say we didn't will ourselves into existence already, right? Is anybody familiar with the concept of last Thursdayism? So it's the belief that the universe and everything in it got created last Thursday. And now I know a lot of people would just be like, whoa, whoa, but I remember things happening prior to last Thursday. Well, but as the argument for last Thursdayism is, well, all that got created and got shoved in your memory. Like that's, yeah. Alster Art says, I would will myself into existence. Um, let's see. Oh, Talamir says Boltzmann brain. Yeah. Kind of. Yeah, like that. I guess the difference between like the sudden spontaneous creation of a thing versus like how is it continuing, I guess. Let's see. Eroom says I have bill stubs that prove that the universe wasn't created last Thursday. No, 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 but as part of the creation during last Thursday, those bill stubs also got created. Like and then all of those memories got shoved into your memory. Like um so anyway, what Talamir is referencing, so if anybody's not familiar with the Boltzmann brain, it's like a thought experiment basically that talks about the likelihood of, I think, anything like actually existing versus like, well, what if it existed just as a spontaneous, like, hey, it came into be. Like, let's pretend that there's this cloud of like matter just somewhere, and it's like, well, what's the likelihood that an apple pie would just get created, in the middle of that cloud? And we would say basically, zero, right? However, we could think that, oh, perhaps an apple pie could just get created like through just like the random fluctuations and arrangements of like the particles in that cloud. And that's that's basically kind of like what it is. So it's like, well, what if the brain or whatever is the thing that gets spontaneously created? So Telomere says, yeah, quantum fluctuations and entropy. So yeah, so it's a mental thought experiment, thought exercise. Let's see, how can we let's theme another one as a Mother's Day trick because we haven't done enough Mother's Day tricks today. All right, so let's see here. Who's a good, you know what? Let's just use the Queen of Hearts. And then who are we, chat? Who's going to represent us? Here, we are going to be a 3-year-old in chat. Okay. Let's see. Wow, I'm bad at spelling. All right, there we go. What? I was rate limited by my own bot. Yeah. All right, hold on. Give me a sec here. Okay, all right. So first things first, we are going to represent ourselves as the 3 of clubs, mostly because we're going to pretend that we're a 3-year-old, chat and me and everybody, and then the motherly figure is going to be represented by the Queen of Hearts, and so this is a demonstration to show that mom will always be there for us. And so here's what we're going to do. If I go ahead and I put mom into the middle of the deck, like this. When we need mom, mom will be there for us. Because, look, there she is. But if mom needs to step away, like she needs to run an errand, but we get upset and we need mom, mom will be there for us. But let's say mom goes off to work for the work day, and we know that mom's not at home because, she currently isn't. But we learn eventually that, moms come back at the end of the day for us. Talamir says, here's a simple yet kind of dumb trick I just thought of. You have a singular card face down. It's a quantum card existing in quantum state. So it's every card at once until you turn it over and observe it. Then it collapses in that card forever. That's an interesting idea, Talamir. We can go ahead and do that. So, Snibmeister, thank you kindly for the follow. I'll wait for the emotes to clear before I proceed. So some people believe that magicians will do something sneaky, and that is to kidnap mothers. No, sorry, that's. But look, this is the Queen of Hearts, but let's say she's going to be preoccupied at a party, and then you think, oh no, we're not going to be able to see her, and so you approach like the nearest adult, and you look, and that's actually not mom. That's like dad, I guess. And then you go look. Snibmeister says, hey, hope you are all having a great evening. Snibmeister, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Thanks for the first time chat. Hello, welcome in. Hopefully you're doing well. And also, mom's not like, in the other room or whatever, but all we have to do is when we need mom, we know that mom will always be there because Happy Mother's Day. There she is. Okay. Also, Snibmeister, welcome in. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Happy Mother's Day. I don't know if you celebrate, but also I don't know if anybody has missed or doesn't know who I am, but probably a good time for me to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Nam, also known as Crazy Asian, spelled this way. And I like to do sleight of hand card magic, and that's mostly what I do here, so that's what we're going to get. I also structure my stream kind of like a music Twitch stream. I use StreamerSonglist, but there's no songs in it. It's all magic tricks. So if anybody wants to request anything, you're welcome to. If not, we just kind of, bumble through the evening and I just do whatever tricks. All right, let's see. Snibmeister, awesome. How long have you been practicing sleight of hand? I've been practicing sleight of hand for 6 years, Snibmeister. So since 2019. So it's kind of interesting because when I got ready and I wanted to perform for people, it became 2020, and then the pandemic happened, and then I was like, who do I show? Everything closed down, and there was nowhere to go. So, yeah. Let me eat that heat map. There we go. Okay, so let's see here. Let me try and find. You know what? We could do another trick, and I'll theme it as though we are a 3-year-old and we are trying to hunt for Easter eggs with mom. I think that'll work out, right? Okay. Let's try that. Okay. Let me put in this. There we go. Okay. All right. So I just left the queen and the chat, the 3-year-old that's going to represent us off to the side. But look, we are let's pretend that it is Easter, and we are attempting to try and find Easter eggs. And so I don't know if you can tell, but look, the 3-year-old's very excited to try and find all the Easter eggs, but not very good at finding things on their own yet. And so here's mom, and mom's like, okay, we're going to encourage you to try and find the eggs, okay? And so at first, mom says, hey, why don't you go ahead and dig into this bush because we think that there's an Easter egg in there. And so you go ahead, stick your head in, you look, and you actually grab something, and when mom takes a look, it happens to be an Easter egg called the Ace of Diamonds. Now, at this point, we need to find another egg, but we already looked exhaustively in this bush, and so we need to go find it somewhere else. And so, but you look back over at the bush and you think, hey, there might still be one over there. But mom says, no, no, no. All you have to do is here, close your eyes, and then I don't know if you saw, but uh, we were able to find another thing, and if we take a look, it is an Easter egg called the Ace of Clubs. Now, some people think that we have to be out in the open to find these Easter eggs, but as everybody knows, the best way to find Easter eggs is to go hiding where those Easter eggs might hide. And so now they're going to try and find more Easter eggs. And so mom says, hey, can you just, do you see one that's just shining through the shadows over there? And you take a look and you say, oh yeah, I do see it. I see one, the Ace of Spades, right? So, and mom says, yeah, that's another one. And now there's only one more hidden egg. Can you go ahead and find that one? And she says, yeah. Can you find this last one? It's right next to you. If you take a look, you found the final Easter egg, the Ace of Hearts. And now you and mom can crack open all of the Easter eggs and eat all the candy that's in there. And that was Hellman's Aces, themed as finding Easter eggs with mom. Um, Vince Perez, thank you. Nicely done. Thank you, Vince. And thank you for the first time chat. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you kindly for the claps, Snibmeister. And I see the request from Charlie's Beats. Thanks for the request, Charlie. Thank you kindly for the claps, E-Room. Snibmaster says, I've been a big fan of Shin Lim ever since I saw him on America's Got Talent. And also on Penn and Teller Fool Us. Absolutely. Shin Lim is amazing. I respect Shin Lim for a lot of reasons, but probably the number one reason why I respect him is because if you did not know, Shin Lim originally went to school for piano, and he discovered that he could not continue playing piano because of, I think it was tendonitis or something. So he got into the world of magic, and that's kind of where he has been ever since. However, years into his career, he got into an accident where he needed to have surgery done on his forearms and his hands. And basically, after that, his doctors told him, yeah, we would be surprised if you could ever handle a deck of cards ever again. And so obviously he was devastated. Um, but I don't know if that's just like the personality or tenacity that, like, a lot of gamers have, or like magicians have. And you guys might be able to relate if you have that personality, but it's like, oh, you tell me I can't do that, I'm going to try and do that, right? And so basically within less than a year, I think it was like 6 to 10 months, Shin Lim was already doing like tricks with cards again, after his surgery, or after his hand and arm surgeries, and now he's just basically back to performing, doing how he could do everything, and that's the thing that I respect the most about Shin Lim. So, That aside, his effects are awesome. He's yeah. All right. Okay. Next up, we have a trick request from Charlie's Beats, and let's go ahead and try and come up with a way to theme this for Mother's Day as well. So, all right, we do have 4 aces. Let me go ahead and introduce you to them. We've got the ace of diamonds, the ace of clubs, the ace of hearts, and the ace of spades. I'm going to go ahead and leave the ace of spades down here because that's going to be our leader ace. Snibmeister says, "That's incredible. I did not know that." And yes, I love his presentation. Yes, absolutely. Shinlim has done a lot of amazing work. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and place all of the aces out on the table like this. And by the end of the trick, hopefully we're going to get everything. So this ace will represent, well, it's going to represent Charlie's Beats because Charlie's Beats has assigned it. But this will represent getting all of the family members together to celebrate Mother's Day. And so I'm going to go ahead and cover each card with a few other cards like this. And so all of the aces are different family members, and they all need to get here to celebrate Mother's Day. Okay. So, first things first, we're going to need to call this family member from there to get over here. So let's pretend this is, so this is Dad, this is Charlie's Beats, and then this is the son. So we'll go son, daughter, and okay, so son, hey, come over here so we can celebrate Mother's Day with your mother. Okay, there we go. I don't know if you saw that, but the son literally walked from here to there. And now if we take a look, there's actually no aces here. That ace, well, we knew that Charlie's Beats was here. And then there's some other cards that we don't care about, this Jack and the Six. But the son has come. Yes, Gibson Lens is now Charlie's Beats' son. All right. Next, the daughter is going to need to come over. Hey, we need to celebrate Mother's Day. Come on down. Okay. So whoever was here has now walked from here to there, because now if we take a look, none of these are aces. That ace has come down here because we take, well, we knew that Charlie's Beats was here, and we also knew that Gibson Lens was here, aka the ace of hearts. But actually, the ace of clubs has also joined. So now Alchemmutation is the daughter. And now we need this final, so we need mom to get down here. And now if we take a look, so mom has arrived. So mom is the Rusty Panda, the ace of diamonds, Alchemmutation, the daughter, the ace of clubs, the son, Gibson Lens, the ace of hearts, and of course the dad, Charlie's Beats, the ace of spades. Now some people are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You just planned all that. That wasn't even a surprise. Wait. We do need another surprise. So Charlie's Beats is going to go ahead and go to the store really quick to go pick up the surprise. Here's the store. And so if you were here, you could put your hand on the store just to make sure that, there would be no way I could get to it. I'm going to go ahead and place my actual computer mouse that's connected right now. And so here's mom and the kids just hanging out, waiting over here. And they're waiting for dad. And you know what? Dad is super sneaky, because if you really think that you would be able to see dad coming back, I don't know if you know, but all you have to do is count to 3 and turn around. 1, 2, and 3. I don't know if you saw, but when they turned around, there were 4 people standing here. So there was mom, the daughter, the son, and Charlie's Beats' dad standing right here to celebrate Mother's Day. And if we take a look, this store, all of the Mother's Day stuff has been purchased. So there's like, there's nothing here to buy. And that, my friends, is Ace Assembly themed as Mother's Day with some questionable name substitutions. Hopefully that part was funny. I thought it was funny. I don't know if Elk Mutation is here, but Craig, you're the daughter now. Thank you kindly for the claps. E-Room, Alstro Art, Snibmeister, Charlie Speeds. And thanks for that request, Charlie. Hopefully you were, if nothing else, amused. Craig is live. Oh, Craig is live? Oh, maybe we have a raid target later. I'm thinking about ending in maybe the next 20 or so minutes. So if anybody wants to request any magic, let's kind of do a last call. I mean, if obviously nobody requests anything, then I'm doing a few more tricks until like the end. But yeah, we do have work tomorrow, so. Okay, actually, and I do need to do the trick that I've been doing every stream because I want to keep it fresh. So because I'm not a professional, I don't have any regular gigs or anything. Basically, this stream is like my check-in to do stuff. So if I don't do stuff on this stream, then it doesn't get practiced. So, and since I mostly do card tricks, this is like the only like non-card trick thing that I do. Oh, this will be more impressive if I quote unquote set it up on camera. All right, so if anybody doesn't know, this is the basic coin matrix. So I've got 4 coins. I'm going to be using 4 cards, and we're going to go ahead and place 4 coins in like a rectangular shape like this. And for this trick, we're going to try and make each of the coins teleport from corner to corner. So I'm going to go ahead and cover each coin with a card. And I'm going to go ahead and make, so for this first one, I'm going to make this coin jump from here to here. And it happens pretty quick. Watch, ready? I don't know if you saw it, but look. Same thing here. It's going to happen pretty quick. And then last one, here we go. There you go. And that, my friends, is the basic coin matrix. Now, I do like to follow this up, and actually this next one is a boss trick because it is the cardless version of this trick. And I did mess it up last time, so I'm like, all right, let me see, cardless, and this is a boss trick because I messed it up last time. Not that I really messed up the trick, but I'm like, I was very unhappy with something that happened in it. So I'm like, all right, let's just get it so we can practice it. All right, so here, so I have no cards in my hand now. So I have the coins in the 4 corners, and then what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and make the coins jump from corner to corner. All right, ready? There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. So we have 1, 2, 3 over here, and then 1 over there, and this last one's going to go now. 4. Okay. And then I've been practicing the second phase of this as well, and so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and push these out there, and then we're going to go ahead and push these down here, and then 1, 2, and 3. I don't know if you guys saw that, but there they are. And that, my friends, is my handling and performance of the cardless coin matrix. So there we go. And I'll say I think I beat the boss that time. I was happy with that performance. Boom. Man, we got a lot of practice in beating all those boss tricks. Thank you kindly for the claps. E-Room, Alstro Art. It was a Cookie Monster. Yeah. It is so cool to see my kid, like, growing up, and now she's like... So we had a good conversation today at the kitchen table, and she was asking questions because we were looking at pictures of her when she was a baby. And, like, I was able to... Like, she asked questions like, oh, when I was... Like, she said, when I was 0, and... Because we told her, oh yeah, when before you're 1 year old, you're 0 years old, and she knows like her like low numbers now, and so she's like, I didn't know how to do this when I was 0, but I can do it now, right? And I'm like, yeah, that's right, you can do it now, but you couldn't do it when you were born because you were just a tiny, tiny thing. Um, and so yeah, but we had to broach the topic because so our cat passed away last year, and so she knows that our cat is at peace. I don't think she fully understands what at peace implies at this point, but I think today she showed me that at least she was more curious about it, and I'm like, "Oh, do you miss?" Our cat was named Penny, so it's like, "Do you miss Penny?" And she's like, "Yes." And I was like, "Oh, you know, when," uh, and she said, "Oh, we should get another pet, right?" So that pet won't be at peace, and I had to, and I'm like, "Do I explain this to her now?" It's like, even if we get another pet, that pet will one day be at peace. I was kind of, it was just, I kept it a little short because I'm like, I don't think I want to broach the topic that one day people will also be at peace. But I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, if we get another pet, that pet will one day be at peace too. And so I'm like, man, this is a tough, like this is starting to get, like, how do I deal with this as a parent, right? And so but I'm like, oh man, the gears are turning. Like I see her thinking, and she's like trying to process and just make sense of it. And I'm like, oh. And so yeah. So I got a little bit of Mother's Day love too today from my daughter. I'm not the mother, but I'm the father. I'll have my own day next month, I guess. Let's see here. Oh yeah, what was I doing? Where was I? Oh, so I had a couple of things that I put inside of my tarot deck box, and I forgot I had put these around here, but I figured while we have a minute, I do want to share. So if anybody has ever been to like an arcade or like a hotel and they happen to come across one of those fortune tellers, so you might see like, or it might be like Zoltan or something, or Zoltar, I forget what the name is, but it's like a fortune teller like vending machine basically, but inside it looks like a puppet, and you can put in, I don't know, something that's $1, sometimes $2 or whatever, and there might be like a little show for like 2 or 3 minutes where he's like talking to you, but then at the end he'll pop out a fortune teller card, and I have a bunch of these. I wanted to show them, and I forgot exactly where all of these came from, but I put them in a sleeve mostly because I kind of want to protect them. So there's two in this packet, and then there's two in this one. But like, so this one says you will reach complete understanding of the main issues. So this is like a self-help, or one if you were looking for help one. This one is like a romance related fortune. Let's see. This one is a kind of like an affirmation of like, hey, your past has been restricted, but now everything's going to open up or whatever. And then let's see, this one, I'm not exactly sure what this one says, but without like reading the whole thing. But I remember I got one of the, so guys, don't tell my wife, but one of these I did get, I think, with my wife. But the other ones I got because I was probably on a date with a girl that I had previously gone out on a date with. And the thing is, I don't know which one is which, but I have all of them right here. And so, yeah. Alstro Art says, "Have you tried calling the phone number on the card?" Oh no, that's interesting. Yeah, okay. So each of these say that it's Baytech Inc. and they all have the same phone number. All right, guys, I've never done this before, but Alstro art, that's a great idea. All right, hold on. Let me try and call this phone number right now. Let's see what happens. Um, Worst case scenario, maybe nothing. Best case scenario, maybe something. I mean, we're doing this for the content, right? Is that is that what content creators say? And I did check. All four of them do have the same phone number. So, all right, here we go. Ooh, it got Baytech. It got Baytech Entertainment, which is the thing that matches. I'm getting a message. Okay, I'm gonna press 9 for them to repeat the menu. Let me see if you guys can hear it. Can you guys hear that? Can you hear it now? So it seems like they're still in business, it sounds like. I'm not going to leave a message, but that is interesting. Yeah, Baytech Entertainment Inc. Hold on, I'll type it in chat if anybody wants to look at it up later. I'm probably going to look it up later. So there's Baytech Inc. That is what these cards say. All right, so fun story about calling random phone numbers. So I used to host, I arguably still host, a Zoom call for New Year's Eve for my friends and me to just hang out and catch up because a lot of us either can't hang out for New Year's Eve or live far away or have kids and that kind of thing. One year, we were just doing random backgrounds, and one of my friends put a random background up of. Do you guys remember, if you're old enough to remember, like TV show infomercials or like those commercials that say, "Hey, buy this VHS or buy this DVD," and they had those blue screens that had the text and the phone number and be like, "Order now." Um, we found one of those, and it was to try and purchase like the entire like first season of something. I think it was like Power Rangers related, so Mighty Morphin Power Rangers or whatever. So I'm like, well, okay. You know what? The likelihood that somebody is arguably working right now, it was like, I think a couple hours before New Year's Eve. So it was like 10 p.m. my time, which I guess on West Coast time, it would be like 7 p.m. or something. So anyway, I'm like, all right, guys, I'm calling the number. So I call the phone number, and somebody picks up. And I'm like, what? And so they were like, "Ah, yes. Would you like to order blah 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 blah?" And I'm like, I didn't hear what it was, but they definitely didn't say Power Rangers. And I'm like, I'm calling this number because I saw it on an old ad, and I was like, "Are you still selling this Power Rangers thing?" And they were like, "Oh no, we're selling this thing now." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. I'm not interested in this thing, but so you guys are you still taking orders? This is still an active number for blah 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 this company or whatever?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Holy crap! You still have this phone number?" And I just could not believe that it was. When did Power Rangers come out? It was like the mid '90s, right? And this phone call happened in the last 5 years because it was after the pandemic too. So they had this phone number for arguably like 25 years, and I'm like, that is insane. And they were still selling a DVD. What? What? It's on auto renew. You know, I would normally say yes that it's on auto renew, but then they forgot. But like obviously there was somebody there to answer the phone to take an order. So obviously they're still using it. Uh Elsewhere says I've had my phone number for at least 10 years now. Yeah, I mean I've had my phone number forever as well, but like I don't know, like give me my Power Rangers, man. Come on. Which, by the way, watching the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers as an adult, it does not age well. Yeah, it does not age well. All right, so anyway, that's my story. All right, so without any further ado, if there aren't any other requests, I'm gonna put in a finale trick. Actually, let me see if this gets the correct one. Yeah, there we go. And I'll be doing this one as the finale. And also, this will be a good time to say thank you, everybody. So, thank you, everybody, for coming on and hang out with me tonight. If you celebrate Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day. Thank you to everybody who interacted with the stream today. If it wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't be as much fun for me. So whether you chatted in chat, sent emotes, did a sound alert, requested a trick, clicked on the heat map, thank you so much. I called my mom. Yep, awesome. I also called my mom. We did a video call. So, and also gave a card to my mother-in-law and texted her as well. So, yay, multiple moms. Thank you to all of the lurkers out there, because magic, one of the rare art forms, is something where if I'm just practicing it at home alone, there's no magic happening. The magic has to happen in your mind. And thank you so much to let's give some mod love to our mods that we saw today. Guys, if you're not following our friend and mod, Chan the Magic Man, please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. Chan the Magic Man, one of the other few magicians that has a regular magic schedule on Twitch. Also, we have a link for Magic Twitch as well, if you want to catch everybody. But Chan is actually like within striking distance of 1,000 followers. So if you want to help him out, definitely give Chan a follow, and let's get him over 1K. All right. And then also, if you are not following our friend and mod Gibson Lens, aka Bert, Gibson Lens is a pianist, also is a composer, has composed a bunch of his own originals, and has recently, as of a couple months ago, released his first album. So definitely give Gibson Lens a follow. And if you want to listen to the album, you listen to the album for free at that link tree, Ungilded. So check it out. Also, for anybody who is here, and you've never been here at the stream before, but if you are concerned that I do black magic or sorcery or deals with the devil, rest assured it was all sleight of hand magic. And if you don't believe me, that's okay. Perfect cover story, sleight of hand magic. If I had real magic, would I just be doing card tricks? Like, would wouldn't I do other stuff? Like, all right. But anyway, perfect cover story. I know I don't stream that often, so for anybody who doesn't know, I mean, you probably figured out that I am a dad, but yeah, I am a dad first and foremost, even before I'm a streamer or magician. So I don't have that much time to stream. I also have a 40-hour per week job, and I also do YouTube. So, which by the way is a good time. If anybody, thanks for the toddler command, Gibson Lens. And then also, if you want to see more of me, but I'm not around, easiest place to find me is find more of my stuff is my YouTube channel. So check out my YouTube channel. I have over 300 magic trick performances on YouTube. I'm actually thinking about adding some new stuff soon. So if you want to see some more of that, mostly card magic. So Check it out. Also, a lot of the VODs from Twitch, if they fall off retention, they end up basically over there. So you can check out the VODs here. But other than that, let's see here. I'll be doing a finale trick, and then assuming that it is successful, we'll find somebody to raid. I don't like to end stream on a trick that I did not succeed at, so if I don't end up doing this one to my liking, I will do another finale trick. But I don't want to jinx it, but I don't usually have to do a bonus finale. But there was one night where I basically had to do where I was like, I just kept on messing up every finale trick. So I did like 3 or 4 finale tricks, and I'm like, ah. So it has been known to happen before. Okay. All right. So okay. All right. So this last trick I did allude to earlier. It's called Imagine. It's also called Chop Shop. It's also called Chop the Monty. And so a long story with this is that it was created by Cameron Francis as Chop the Monty. And then when John Bannon saw it, he created his version Chop Shop. But Paul Richards, the guy that I said earlier, who's like at the convention tables selling, he officially purchased the rights to the trick Chop the Monty from Cameron Francis, and so he can sell it and market it. And his marketed version is this one called Imagine. And so I just found all this out from him when I went to the Monty convention a couple weeks ago. So I was like, I'm interested in this lineage. Please tell me now. Like, he was like, oh yeah, and then he told me the whole story. I'm like, whoa. So now I understand where everything came from. But yeah, so this is one of the Paul Richards tricks that I show. Because I do it all the time. I love it. It's awesome, but it's also made by like a bunch of other people. So, all right. Okay. Let me see if I can theme this as Mother's Day. So we can wrap up with a Mother's Day trick. All right. Let's pretend there's a bunch of. Let's pretend. I want you to imagine that there's this family with a bunch of kids. All the kids are going to be represented by jokers. Um, all the kids are represented by jokers. Oh, except for mom. Mom is going to be represented by the Queen of Clubs. And so we've got 3 kids and mom. And I want you to remember right now that mom is the red backed card and the kids are blue backed. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. The kids are all at home with mom, but they're waiting for mom to step away for a minute so they can do some shenanigans. And so mom decides, okay, here, I'm going to go ahead and step into the backyard, kids. And they proceed to try and do things in the kitchen. But perhaps they're very dangerous because you might find, like, let's say knives in the kitchen, the stove is in the kitchen. And they're going to try and experiment with the stove, let's say. But then wait, mom says, hold on, kids, what are you doing? And here she is. She's like, don't go and do any dangerous things, okay? All right. Now mom says, all right, I've got to go downstairs to go do the laundry. So the kids think that they're all alone. And then they go into the bathroom and they open up like the bathroom closet and there's usually some chemicals in there. And they're like, wait. And mom's like, hey, kids, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be doing that. And then the kids are like, aw. And so mom's like, all right, I haven't been able to get anything done today. So hold on, let me go upstairs and try to fold all the laundry or whatever. And so now the kids are like, all right, okay, now we can try and, play with all our toys and make a mess. And at this point, mom is like, okay, that's fine because, that's the safest thing you've done all day today. But I don't know if you remember, I asked you to imagine this family. And so did you actually think about a real family or did you just imagine an imaginary one? You might have thought of a real one, but if you thought of a real one, these events didn't necessarily happen exactly right. And those of you who did think about just a made up family that didn't really exist, I think that's starting to show through because if you take a look, There is no mom. And we do know that there are 3 kids, right? But didn't we imagine those kids too? And that, my friends, we will call a successful finale. Happy Mother's Day. I'm sure sometimes mothers would like to imagine their kids and be like, ah. But at the end of the day, they love them. It's kind of like the, can't live with them, can't live without them kind of thing. Thank you kindly for the claps. Alstro Art, Gibson Lens. Thank you kindly for the gigantified emote. Alstro Art, greatly appreciate it. All right, and with that, I think we can call that a stream. So we can find somebody to raid. So let's see. I think earlier we had alluded that Alchemmutation was on. Is Alchemmutation still on is the question. Or did Alchemmutation raid out? Because, we technically would owe Alchemmutation 30 raids. Let me see. I'm not seeing Alchemmutation on. Oh no, Alchemmutation is live. All right, there we go. Oh, it didn't show up in my list, or maybe I'm just blind. Oh, you know what it is? They're probably the sorting. Okay, no, there's Alchemmutation. There we go. Okay. All right, let me see. Alchemmutation's been on for 2 hours 15 minutes, and wait, did they just raid out? He's raiding as I type this, says Gibson Lens. Well, I guess we can't raid Alchemmutation anymore. Yes. All right. All right. New plan. Raid somebody else is just as simple as that. Haha, such is the life of a streamer. Okay, let's see here. Who haven't we raided in a while, and who would we like? Actually, who did Alchemmutation raid? Oh, I don't know. My thing got stuck. Let me see here.
I hope the rest of your stream went well.
Mute. Oh, okay, all right. Alchemmutation raided to Aranel Quendi, which is where I would have suspected. So we could go over there. She's playing a game called Irresistible Mistakes. So, all right. That way, at least we can tell Alchemmutation, hey. Also, Aranel has raided in here a couple of times too. So. All right, let's go over there. All right, guys, we are going to be raiding Aranel. So there's the link if you left behind. Here's a raid call. Here's a sub raid call. And let me start the raid here. And then let me copy my own raid call. And then... All right. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Hopefully everybody had fun. I had a good time. Once again, happy Mother's Day. Great seeing everybody. Great seeing some new faces. Thanks for all the new follows. And then also, thanks for the continued support. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for having fun. And then also remember to take care of yourselves, everybody. Remember to hydrate. Remember to stretch. And remember to get good sleep. So yeah, other than that, hope to see everybody around again next time, and we'll see ya. All right, bye.